Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you for today's Springer Nature Research Ambassador Program Awareness Session on Cureus and Discover Journals, hosted by SASTRA University. This session is dedicated to exploring open access publishing platforms that foster innovation and facilitate the rapid dissemination of scientific knowledge. We hope the insights shared today will empower researchers and inspire broader engagement with accessible academic publishing.
Please, guys, go ahead. Try to inspire everyone and help them to choose the right path to better get everyone recognized. So all the best to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging talk. To give us a brief overview of today's session, I now invite Ms. Anushree Sajeevan, research scholar from School of Chemical and Biotechnology.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to give a brief overview of today's program event and introduce the team of ambassadors from SASTRA. First of all, I would like to share how we were selected for this unique opportunity. Because so many people had asked me how you have been shortlisted as an ambassador. Sorry. So actually the application process of this ambassadors program was circulated in our SASTRA research community group. After applying, Springer Nature team members reached out to us to learn more about our research interest. So basically they were looking for scholars who are more active and enthusiastic, and basically they were reviewing our professional engagements, like our activities on platforms like LinkedIn. So as ambassadors, our main goal is to help research fellows and guide them for publishing articles, especially promote open access publications and build a strong research community. And so far, 85 members have been shortlisted from different universities in India. Out of that 85 members, 10 scholars are from SASTRA. So I'm proud to introduce those 10 research ambassadors. Mr. Ashwin R. from School of Mechanical Engineering, Ms. Swati Sujit, Ms. Shobhana, you can please come to the stage. Ms. Swati Sujit, Ms. Shobhana, Ms. Helma David, and myself from School of Chemical and Biotechnology, Ms. Divya Bharati and Ms. Ajanda V from School of Computing, Miss Grace Monica, she's from Sachet Department. Unfortunately, she couldn't join here now. And Mr. Dayanand and Miss Haripriya from School of Civil Engineering. And now let me quickly go through the agenda of today's session. Mr. Ashwinar will lead the initial session with a presentation on Cureus Journal. And following this, Miss Divya Bharati will provide an introduction to the Discover Journals. So after that talks, we will have an interactive Q&A session. So thank you all for being here and thank you for supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushree. I request ambassadors to stay in the stage itself. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Professor K. Sridhar, Dean Research of SASTRA University, for felicitating all the 10 Springer Nature Research Ambassadors of SASTRA. Sir, please. Sir, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we begin our session, first talk of our session. I welcome Mr. Ashwin R., research scholar from School of Mechanical Engineering, to share insights on Cureus Journal, focusing on its innovative publishing model, high visibility, and rapid publication strategy. Mr. Ashwin, stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. And today I'm going to present on Cureus Journal, which is one of the Springer Nature group. And normally we all know about that. Cureus Journal, it was started by Dr. John Adler, who is a former professor of Stanford University, and he is a neurosurgeon. And he wanted to start about the Cureus Journal for the medical practitioners. Later it was included all sort of engineering sectors and business, management, economics, life sciences, and so on. So Cureus was now joined with the Springer Nature group. So Springer Nature is a leading global research publisher where it has 10,000 employees in over 50 countries, which represents a revenue of euro 1.8 billions. And in Springer Nature group, it has Scientific American, Macmillan Education, BMC, Cureus, Nature Portfolio, Alder Macmillan, and Springer. In Springer Nature, it had divided its divisions into three parts. One is research, education, and health. In research alone, per year 1.5 millions of articles were submitted, and the publishing articles were 4 lakhs plus of articles, and 13,000 of research books and 2.9 of billion downloads access was given. And it has an editorial and associate editors board of 90,000 plus. It is now reaching on 1 lakh plus, and 7.5 lakhs of peer reviewers were involved in it. In Springer Nature, it was contributing its over euro of $1.8 billion, about $1.2 billion. Its 72% of revenue was contributed for research alone. Springer Nature in India. Nowadays, the research contribution was more concentrating by Ministry of Education. So Springer Nature had signed an MOU with Ministry of Education, and today Springer Nature provides an online access to Indian researchers and students and academicians, where 120 millions of articles and chapters were downloaded every year, with ease of operation and for multiple collaboration. And for this ease of operation, 2,000 employees were recruited in 4 major cities of India, were Chennai, Delhi, Noida, and Pune. And for this ease of operation towards the Indian community, 100 plus research yearly ambassadors were shortlisted and as shown here. And the partnerships with Indian Academy of Sciences, which is the major Indian academic group, which establishing a professorship chair for free amounts of operation. And India also published a journal with partnership with India's most prestigious academias, societies, and institutes. Also, it was giving an open access publishing process, which will be easy to download and easy to submission to acceptance, where growing numbers of most recent articles, Department of Atomic Energy in New Delhi and BITS Bilani had signed an MOU with Springer Nature. Why we want to submit in Cureus? Actually, Cureus is an open access journal, which we want to know first of all, and to enhance the research accessibility and affordability is the main factor in Cureus. So yet researchers also face hurdles when trying to publish articles. So to overcome these research challenges, Cureus were launched a peer-reviewed open access journals under the Cureus brand, where some of the research challenges are mainly high cost barrier, submission to publication delay, complex user interface. High cost barriers have higher APC, that is article processing charges, to publish their work and hinders the access journals to restricting traditional contributions to global knowledge. Submission to publication delay, that is long turnaround times can cause delays in disseminating the research findings. Third is a major one, complex user interface, that is between from author to editorial book. So to overcome these major challenges, Cureus had some of the beneficiaries are enhance the accessibility and for affordability, where it has a low editing fee of average of USD 350, which is approximately of 29,000 for Indian amount, and reduced and processing amount of under 60 days, which is less than 2 months from submission to acceptance. And user-friendly interface which has overcomes the complex interface from a user-friendly platform with clear navigation. The author and editorial board will have a clear navigation process from submission to acceptance. Also, a transparent process will be given, which improves the research experience and fostering the trust. As I said earlier, Cureus Journal was initially started for medical. So it has included some of the parts, like it has started over of Journal of Engineering, where the Cureus Journal of Engineering is now accepting the submissions and providing a robust open access for the farmers of researchers in worldwide. This community driven the journal facility faster publication without APC. This is the main thing which we want to concentrate on. APC charges will not be provided for Cureus Journal of Engineering process. So it also joins as advanced engineering throughout the transparent and accessibility publishing. These are some of the articles listed here are published in Cureus Journal of Engineering. Second, Cureus Journal of Computer Science, the leading computer science world which enhances the AI technology. So the Cureus Journal of Computer Science is a peer-reviewed open access publication focused on high-quality research in computer science. The journal emphasizes the rapid publication to quick share innovative ideas and advancements. By providing the free access, it doesn't use any accessibility for you. Free institutional access will be given. So by providing free institutional access, it provides global collaboration among researchers, practitioners, and academicians. These are the recent articles published in Cureus Journal of Computer Science. So moving on from academic engineering and arts and sectors, it was moved to business and economics management, where the Cureus Journal of Business and Economics is a multiple disciplinary open access journal which aspires to publish the quality research with a rigorous single blind peer review process. Peer review process will be continued for all the open access journals, and it also gives a peer review by providing affordable and faster publication in the field of business, management, and economics, where CJB encourages submissions of well-written and timely papers to advance the knowledge and its applications to benefits to researchers, academicians, etc. This is the article recently published in Cureus Journal of Business and Economics. So, what type of article can be published in Cureus? There are 6 types of articles. First one is original, review, case study, business reports, letters, and editorials. So, you all know that the process will be similar to all site of journals, but in Cureus, it is little bit different. While the author submits the papers on Cureus platform, it will go for in-house submission to editors, review papers for suitability and performs the stringent integrity check. And once check was finalized, there will be 2 types of process. These 2 are the major one which we are going to concentrate on, where the authors offered with pre-publishing and authors offered paid copy editing service. If the author publishing his or her article in a first time, or he are going to initiate his pilot study like that, the authors offered with the free publishing charge. So there is no cost of publishing. So if you go on this part, the paper will be reviewed by Cureus reviewer community. If you are publishing a second phase of work or third phase of work, the authors offered by paid community charges. So once it was selected, the paper will be peer reviewed by Cureus reviewer community. Once the comments written to the authors and reviewers revision, it will be further processed for approval. Once it was not put to the limit of associate editors, then it will be re-given for additional review. Once it is all over, the paper will be accepted. And if you given the chances from these 2 it will be copy editing by in-house team and the paper published by the author on Cureus platform. From the submission to the paper publishing, it will take roughly of 40 to 45 days. So this is the main thing which Cureus was concentrating on. While we are going for other open access journals, the time duration will be similar to the subscription based journals. So while if you go for Cureus, it will be very less time and easy to approach. So the processing charge will be estimated by the Cureus website for payment of prior entering into the peer review process calculator, and the editing is performed after the final decision to publish the paper is made by the associate editor. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ashwin, for the informative presentation. Next, we have Ms. Divya Bharati R from School of Computing, who will introduce us to Discover Journals and highlight their features and accessibility. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here and giving your valuable time to us. So, I'm very excited to introduce you about introducing the Discover Journal series, which is a promising initiative by Springer Nature. Before we dive into the Discover series, let's know what is Springer Nature. So, Springer Nature is one of the world's leading academic publishers. It is formed in 2015 and which is mainly focusing on high quality contents, including the world's renowned um, journals like scientific reports, natures, and thousands of Springer Nature journals across its disciplines. So, Springer Nature's goal is to help the researchers to achieve advanced discovery and sharing their knowledges globally, either by subscriptions or by the open access. So, coming to the Discover series, so Discover is a new inclusive group of STEM journals. So, STEM journal is basically of it comprises of S stands for science, T for technology, E for engineering, M for journals. So they are the new series of fully open access journal, and they have the 4R principles, which is of rigor, ensuring its quality through peer review, and for rapid publication, fast and turnaround from submission to the publications, and for the representation, encouraging the diverse participations globally, and for reaching of your research, making research visible and accessible to all audience. And some of the key factors of Discover is they have 60 plus journals launched up to date in 2025, and over 400 editorial board members in India. We have joined Discover from over 250 institutions, and 13 journals were indexed in Scopus and 15 in Web of Science, and the numbers will be growing around in the year of 2026. And we have waived the APCs for the new journals and also offering some local discounts for the Indian authors. So Discover was born for the STEM community, which is need of inclusive and reliability and speed. They have launched in the year of 2020, which is the newest series of open access journal. And they have noticed that the authors were reliable journals and that upholds integrity while offering fast and reliable service for publications after the peer review. And they have created journal series to address a growing need from the communities we serve, and we dedicated the group of publishing staffs and growing community of editorial board members to ensure fast and reliable peer review processes. And they have launched the 60th journal in 2025 and will be expanding and introducing the new journals to the field of all research. So here we have listed some of the journals which are Scopus indexed, and here some of the journals were listed here Web of Science. Among them, Discover Space, Discover Nano, Discover Oncology, Discover Computing, and Discover Neuroscience are Science Citation Indexed as per in the 2020-25. So remaining are ESA soon. Before the end of 2025, they have assured they will be giving us a SCI for all indexed of all these journals. So some of the journals I'll be introducing here is like Discover's Applied Science, which is a multidisciplinary and open access journal covering various fields like life sciences, chemistry, earth, environmental sciences, engineering, material science, and physics. Some of the key factors of applied sciences, they have 1,000 articles published, and they have 1,800 citations to the articles in the journal, over 15 lakh downloads and accesses, and indexed in EACI, both Scopus and Web of Science. They have the local discount offered for the authors, especially for Indians. And coming to the other journal like Discover Sustainability is one of the very first journal they have introduced in the Discover. Their aim is to provide a common ground for inclusive multidisciplinary research on the range of subjects related to its sustainability and sustainability development goals and their adjacent fields. Some of the key facts of this journal is 300 articles published and 691 citation to the articles in the journal, over 9 lakh downloads and accesses. And the year of 2023, they had a 2.4 impact factor for its that year, and local discount was offered to the authors in India. So coming to the next, Discover Oncology is one of the leading Discover journals, which is SEI. The journal aims to provide a uniform forum for the researchers and clinicians. The journal spans from basic and translational science through preclinical, clinical, and epidemiology, and welcomes contents that interface at all levels of cancer research. And some of the key facts of this journal is over 700 articles are published, 1,300 citation to the articles in the journal, over 15 lakh downloads and accesses, and this year they have received 2.8 as an impact factor. And for the Indian authors, they have local discount. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you, Divya Bharati. Now we are open for discussion. So, moderating the session, I invite Divya Bharati and Shobana. So, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask your questions regarding the Cureus Journal and Discover.
So, any questions, we'll be happy to clarify. Yeah.
Provide for proper condition because getting first first article getting discounts and free of what about other?
Obviously, only for the first one, like it is free of cost. In the others, we have to pay. But then the processing time is very less. But other journals, when we go, the processing time is more. For few journals, it takes about 8 months to 1 year also, even to get the result. Will it be accepted or not? So the processing is fast. At least you get to know it will be accepted or not at a very early stage. I think it is about 30 days that we'll know if our article will be moving further or rejected. That is one reason. And of course, the open access comes with its own advantage that citations increases and all that. And obviously, as the citation increases, we have H index that comes with it as well. So
That's because most of them having answers. The publication answers also get the higher impact citations. Because here citations also mismatching because we might impact.
yes, but then it was started only in the year 2020, and within three to 4 years they've got the impact factor of 2.3, and of course it comes under Springer Nature, and I think SASTRA has subscriptions for Springer Nature as well. And as it comes with Springer Nature, the citation, the impact factor will increase even more than Enzyver. The chances are more because Springer Nature has some journals with 80 impact factor and all that, 80, 100. So the probability is more for the impact factor to increase as well.
So those who are at the initial stage of a research can publish a paper. At the end of your research, you can see that impact factor is also raising, and it is easy for you. At the end of 1 year, you can say that I have published a paper in the allied with the Springer Nature. You can say it very proudly.
So I think on that day also they have presented this part. So this is again to motivate scholars in SASTRA. They are asking us to present it again and convey it to you people. Anytime, if you want to talk from them, we can ask them that also. They are always happy to interact with scholars in SASTRA.
Yes.
Current journal is 1.0. It's been around 20 to 40.
Actually, Cureus was separate. Now only recently Springer is bringing everybody together. That is Cureus, Discover, everything they are bringing under the same roof. Basically, that is why they are promoting.
When John
I think 2020, if I'm not wrong. 2019, sorry. Cureus as such, obviously, I don't think people would have the scientists would have recognized. But once it comes under Springer Nature, the name is very well known to the researchers. So, of course, at least 5 years we need for an impact factor. That time is required.
And will be given, and it will be further processed for publication. You can't go like, sorry. That's what you are asking, right? No, reviewer will be differs.
Double blind means the reviewer will not know who is the author.
Yes.
The author will not know who is the reviewer.
Yes.
Single blind means either one of them.
Yes, sir, that's what I'm trying to say. Editor will communicate to the author that we are giving the reviewers list, right? While your submission in Elsevier. Reviewers list he will give, right? That same process will be given. The chosen reviewers will give a peer review process for business and management economics.
So why there is no double blind?
That's the
That's the positive side of this journal.
policy.
Yeah. So if we go for the, yes, sir. The reviewers which you are choosing will be the reviewer for your paper.
Thank you all. Thank you all for the wonderful discussion and questions. And if you have any further queries, please feel free to contact us. And I also thank all speakers and ambassadors and Dean Sir, Associate Dean and Ma'am. To bring today's program to a formal close, I now invite Ms. Ajanta V, Research Scholar of School of Computing, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening to everyone. It's an honor to deliver the vote of thanks as a research ambassador of Springer Nature program. I extend my sincere gratitude to Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Dean Planning and Development, and Registrar for their support and approval of this enlightening program. I also express my heartfelt gratitude to our Dean Research, Associate Dean Research, Deans and Associate Deans of all schools, faculty members and research scholars for their presence and encouragement. This program promotes awareness about the open access publishing through journals like Cureus and Discover series. I also appreciate my research fellow ambassador for their valuable insights and contributing to the success of this event. May this gathering inspire young research scholars to pursue impactful research with their passion, integrity, and a global perspective. Thank you all for being part of this meaningful journey. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ajanta. With this, we conclude the formal proceedings. Please join us for tea and coffee outside the seminar hall and take the opportunity to interact and network. Thank you once again for being a part of today's session. Thank you.